Hello, I'm David Malpass. I'm running for U.S. Senate. I'm here today as part of our Kids First tour. I was in Albany on Monday. We're highlighting the spending and the debt that's being piled onto our children in a way that is not sustainable, can't be afforded. Families can't afford the taxes. So behind me is the debt clock showing over $12 trillion in debt, and the IRS building that's sucking money out of New York State, and we're losing jobs for that. CBS issued a poll yesterday, took a poll showing that over half the families in the country believe that the future is bleak for our children, for the next generation. That's got to stop. That's a shocking number. Debt is public enemy number one. As I travel around the state, I find families, I find people across the state realize that debt is a huge problem and government spending is out of control. That's why I'm running for U.S. Senate. I brought today a check to show what Americans are going to have to pay. I'll hold it here. It's a check from our children to Washington politicians showing $20 trillion of debt in the year 2020. This is a Congressional Budget Office estimate. The IMF says this number is going to be $22 trillion. Both of the numbers are in nosebleed territory. The country can't afford this kind of debt. And yet Senator Gillibrand has continued to support more and more government spending, more taxes piled on top of other taxes. And this has got to stop. It's the reason I'm running for U.S. Senate. So it's critical that we find a way to have private sector job growth. And the problem is that the government is taking the money and spending it and making bad selections on the spending. I'm in favor of spending cuts on a host of projects. We have to have no new earmarks. We have to have no new entitlements. No spending without matching cuts. We should defund the new health care law. We should use the excess TARP money to reduce the national debt. No funds should be used to implement a value-added tax or IMF bailouts. No appropriations without underlying authorizations. We should downsize the 300-plus economic development agencies. We should eliminate defense spending that hasn't been specifically asked for by the military. And we should end the huge ethanol subsidies that are drawing money out of New York State, going through Washington, and being used in other parts of this country in a very inefficient way. So in sum, we have debt. The national debt is public enemy number one and has to be stopped. Thank you very much. I'm joined today by Ed Cox, the chairman of the Republican Party in New York, and we share across the ticket this common interest in seeing government spending reduced and the national debt stop growing. Thank you, Ed.
Thank you for that presentation, David. We have three very good candidates for U.S. Senate to run against Senator Gillibrand. Mr. Blakeman, Mr. Gillibrand, and Mr. Malpass. I'm here to address Mr. Malpass's strengths in this race against Gillibrand. David Malpass has extraordinary qualifications, particularly in the era of the budget, where he served on the Senate Budget Committee, and he is a Deputy Assistant Secretary of the Treasury during the Reagan era. He is one of our top economists, and senators, Republican senators have told me they need someone like David Malpass in the Senate because they don't have an economist of his stature who can properly help them interpret what they should do as matters of policy. David Malpass, throughout his career, has been a pro-growth economist. When he served in the Senate Budget Committee, was an advocate for pro-growth policies, and he will be, if elected senator, he will be an advocate for those pro-growth policies. Like our other two candidates, David is going to be one of those individuals who will make an excellent senator because he's had that experience with those economic policies when he served in the Senate and served in the Department of Treasury in the